And we're back. What's up, everybody? Carolina Keith. Regular Keith or just Professor Keith or just Keith, whichever you prefer. I'll just go with Keith. Good to see everybody. I think I have the same shirt on I had last live stream. Did a bunch of laundry, rotated it in, and since it's summer, I'm trying to wear more short sleeves. Not really summer, psych. But we had some warm weather there for a couple days. I've been trying to wear some warmer clothes and get out of the funk of wearing a hoodie all the time. Because you get trapped into like the hoodie state of mind where you just want to wear a hoodie all the time and you start to feel like you're bumming it. Try not to do that. Anyways, welcome to Charts After Dark. If you haven't done so, please go hit like. It's free. Costs absolutely nothing. Whether you're watching over on X, you're watching over on YouTube, or you're watching over on Rumble, we appreciate it. Hit the like button, subscribe while you're there, and don't forget to hit the notification bell so you don't miss anything, man. We do these live streams for educational purposes. Nothing you see is financial advice. It's all just real world charts. You will see me talk about what I own and what I do not own, but that's strictly me, only me, and always just me. Please don't buy anything anybody tells you to buy on the internet, especially if they're popular. Fair enough? Fair enough. So let's get started with gold. I highlighted this as a thumbnail yet again because gold continues to do things that are somewhat out of the ordinary, right? It had this monster run up all the way up to almost $6,000, fell back really, really abruptly, all the way back down to $4,200 and some change, and then bounced once again and has still henceforth continued to bounce. We had a short-term downtrend that you see here with a high and a lower high and a lower high before she made higher low, higher low, higher low, and held the line. And as all those higher lows came in, that created an uptrend, which we can make in green. I try to make uptrend lines green. I try to make downtrend lines red. That way it's simple and easy for your mind to re-register what you're working on and re-register what you're doing. By the way, if you don't have it, let me help you out here real quick. I have TradingView pulled up right here, and TradingView is an app that I use to do all these charts with. TradingView is free if you would like. Here is a link that I just sent to all three chats. There you go. That's a link for TradingView. You can sign up for free, costs absolutely nothing. And if the hyperlink won't work, just copy paste it into your PC or your tablet, and you'll get TradingView for free. You can pay for it. I pay for it. I have the premium plan. I use all the other extra features. Not totally necessary for you, but you can use the regular one if you'd like. Also, folks, I'm watching the Hornets on my phone right here. I don't miss a Hornets game. And we're up by like 30, and I don't really care. It's incredibly exciting for me to watch my team win, especially by 30. You guys see all the jerseys. You know what's up. So anyway, we continue to maintain this uptrend. I'm on TradingView. We draw these trend lines to help us maintain a focus of direction. Clearly, the focus of direction is still up. We only had a couple days of down before she snapped right back above the 821 EMA. This is the 821 EMA. I'll turn it on and off so you can see. There you go. This is a free indicator. Costs absolutely nothing under the indicator section. You click on indicators and you type in 8,21 and you'll see lots of different ones pop up. Right there's an 813.21. Right here is an 821, 55, 100, 200. Yeah. This one that I've got is a custom one. It's an Assassin's 3-for-1 indicator. It's free over in our Discord if you're part of our Discord, right? wap.com/team 786 right there at the bottom. First month free, $8 after that, $8 a month after that. It costs less than half of the cost of a Starbucks coffee. So it's just part of it and included. It's a custom indicator, and I can turn off moving averages and exponential moving averages. Nonetheless, that's what you see right there, the 8 and the 21 EMA, green and purple. It jumped back over the 821 EMA, which was a great bullish indicator that things didn't want to just give up. It wanted to kind of hold water here and continue to ride its wave up, which is very, very impressive. I'm very excited that it continues to do this. It makes a lot of people a lot of money when gold goes up as much as it does. It continues to ride atop that 821 as you see over the trend line. There's nothing bad to say here. I will highlight a few things though. Your RSI has been extremely overbought for a very long time, did fall off and got back into our nominal trading range here, which we're still in right now, okay? This purple zone right here is nominal, everyday, regular old trading. No big deal. All right, knocking it back from that, we got the MACD here. She has crossed back north, good, but I want you to know that it could still make a higher low right here and roll back down more. I like the cross up. We don't have a ton of volume here, but I do like the decreasing volume for sellers. And increasing volume for buyers starting to try to turn the corner. That's a good thing. If I pull up pivot points, which are, by the way, all these indicators are free. Just type them right up here in the indicator section. Pivot point standard is the indicator I got pulled up on the screen right here right now. Anything over P, or the pivot point, is more bullish than bearish. Now, as you see, she's still over the pivot, riding high here. Next stop would be R1, R2, and R3. These are mathematical waypoints along the way on the chart. They kind of help us see where things will start and where things will stop. It kind of marks out resistance, R1, R2, R3, and then marks out support on the way back down if we fail. S1, S2. Fair enough. As you see, we're still over the pivot, which is the midpoint, still over that $5,000 area, which will continue to be contentious, and I'm going to talk about that in a second. Ichimoku cloud, which is an old school indicator. Musa Diabate just made another play. Let's go. Which is an old school indicator. It's been around for a really, really long time. Started way back in the day. Essentially, there are 4 markers we want to see. The Ichimoku cloud is right here in green, as you see. It's only red for a couple days, and that little spot right there. We want it to be green all the way on the end, and as you see, it is green. Perfect. So the next step would be, and it doesn't really matter the order here, the next step is the lag line, the line in the back. The lag line is the price in line form instead of candles, and it's moved back 27 spaces. Don't ask why. It's not important. It's part of the Ichimoku cloud. Is it over the candles or is it under the candles? Well, it is quite clearly over. Gotcha. That's 2 out of 2. Damn, Blue Zealous is killing it. He's had a whale of a game, but I like how the Hornets have shifted into letting one guy do their thing and stopping everybody else. It's really changed defensive sets. Next, your baseline and conversion line. That's the red line and the blue line. Red is base. Blue is conversion. Is your blue over the red? It is. Perfect. Next is the price, the actual price, the candles, over the cloud or under the cloud. As you see, we're very much over. Guess what? That's 4 out of 4. That's exactly what you want to see, folks. 4 out of 4 on the cloud is everything that you'd want and more. Ride the wave up. Now, for the negatives. Aside from that RSI that I showed you before, here's the next part. If I pull the trend and pull a set of fibs here, you'll see the price is currently tied up in, shoot that, Connaughton, missed it. You'll see the price is currently tied up in the golden pocket, 618 to 71. This is Fibonacci retracement. It's, again, mathematical waypoints along the way. It kind of shows us where things tend to turn around. And this is the range where things tend to turn around. All right? That could be a bad thing for us. If it can't get through this level and make a new high, it very well may roll back over, fail trend again, and roll back down here. Failing the golden pocket sets up a potential lower high and a potential lower low. We don't know that yet. We will see as we get there. For now, it's okay. see where the rest of the week plays out, if it can hold the line or not. If it fails on Friday or fails toward the end of the week, well, then we'll have all the evidence we need to say, hey, she didn't have the balls to keep going. She gave up. I hope that doesn't happen. I hope it keeps on going. I hope it keeps on trucking and does its thing. Appreciate that, B. Henry. I hope it keeps on doing its thing. But you don't have any guarantee of that, honestly. I would say the only guarantee we have is extreme volatility. And that extreme volatility keeps happening every other damn day. You know what I mean? So base your theories how you'd like. That's how I see it on gold. Silver's going to be pretty much the same. It's not hardly any different at all, only it's not in the golden pocket. It's at the 50 fib. And the 50 fib is continuation. Cross the 50 fib and hold on, and you continue up to the golden pocket. Fail the 50 fib and you do not continue. You do not pass go. You do not collect $200. Hit the 50 fib and fail. You're destined to come in and make another low. Silver may be a bit of a guiding light here and show us what happens. We did just get another bullish 821 EMA cross. Platinum. Platinum continues to catch a wave and keep on riding. Interesting. And hella strong, gotta admit. Over the 50, nope, she's still under the 50. See that right there? Hasn't quite gotten through like silver and gold have. It kind of rides behind the other two. And you don't have that bullish 821 EMA cross right there. Close, but no cigar just yet, right? Getting close. It hasn't quite made it over that hump. All the other indicators are going to be very bullish here. The only thing I see is you don't have 4 out of 4 on the Ichimoku cloud. You have a red cloud on the end. Don't want that. You have the price in the cloud. It's not over the cloud. It needs to be over the cloud. You have your lag line under, your baseline under or over the conversion line. You need that blue over the red. We have red over the blue. That's not good enough. And the lag line is under the candles. Not good. For metals, even though it's on a breakout and over the 821 EMA, there is some markers here to say things may slow up a bit still. This is a really bad day to be making decisions with the president running his mouth on TV. I often shy away from events like this, specifically because of all the crazy and odd price action that comes along with this silliness. So here's how I see metals, gold, silver, and platinum. You can look at a bunch of other ones if you'd like. Copper, nickel, iron, palladium, cobalt, and several others, lithium. I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole. I'll just stop at those 3 because those are the 3 most popular. And no, it's not bronze. Bronze is very, very cheap. Brass is a little bit more than bronze, but is what it is. So, all right, cool. Let's transition over into the Bitcoin world. So it hasn't been much to talk about in the Bitcoin world of late. Make a shot, man. Come on. We're still up by 94, 104, 130, still up by 30. Sorry, I'm watching the Hornets. Haven't had a lot to talk about just yet. You've had this really, really gnarly downtrend, and it hasn't happened to catch a wave just yet. She continues to get caught in the mud. I've got the Ichimoku cloud pulled up here now. As you see, lag line is under the candles. That ain't going to get it. Conversion line is under the baseline. Not going to get it. Cloud on the end is red. That's not going to get it. And the price is clearly under the cloud. That's 4 out of 4. Nope. Bruh. Sorry. Not good enough. So we need to see some change here. I haven't seen that yet. That's just the Ichimoku cloud. It does tend to lag, which means it kind of goes last. Perfect. Well, how about the 821 EMA? Well, guess what? Same issue here. We're stuck underneath the EMA even after today's very abrupt 3% candle up right after closing and right as soon as the president got in there to start talking. They're still stuck under the EMA. You haven't done enough to really push a wave forward here. So it's all a bit of a ruse just yet. And I need to see a breakout and I need to see it get over the EMA. Prove it to me. Pivot points. You saw what I saw with gold a moment ago where we were over the pivot line. Look at this. The pivot line is way up here on Bitcoin at $84,000 and we are at 65 and some change. No bueno. Get where I'm going? Good. All right, so I can pull up the MACD. As you see, You get some indifference here. Even though things are ugly, the MACD has turned up. And this is why you never use just one indicator as your be-all, end-all. You do have some decent volume here, but not enough to really move the trend. As we talked about, the trend is your friend. Don't go against the trend. And it hasn't changed yet, even though you see the MACD come up. You did have a mega oversold condition. I took advantage of that, and I bought some. It hasn't come up off that level, though. As you see, we're almost back to oversold. Really, really boring price action. Still under 40 on the RSI. Over 40 tends to mean it goes to 50. Over 50 tends to mean it goes to the top of the range at 70. But neither of those have happened yet. Right? Sucks. Flipping her over to weekly, here's what's a little bit more spooky. You still haven't caught enough price action or enough volume to even test the upper levels of resistance, which are back here at 77,000-ish. You haven't even gotten enough pressure to do that just yet. You still keep chasing the wick that we had back in the beginning of February. What does that mean? Well, that's just the candles continue to try to beat down where the price really, really jumped up aggressively, and it hasn't broken through that yet. You've got nothing but 6 weeks straight of big old red, and you only had a little bit of green before that, and before that you had another 6 out of 7 big gnarly green and big gnarly red weeks in a row. If I'm not mistaken, this is another month red would set another record for red months for Bitcoin. If I flip it to linear, you see the log mode and linear mode fibs are slightly different here on the higher time frame. 56,000 at the 382 in log, and then the linear 57,000, 58,000 at the 618. Either way, that level is contentious. Prove it to me that you're ready to do something. Can't really take a bigger chance till I see a change. Hope that makes sense for everybody. I try to keep it real as always here. If you guys who are just now watching for the first time or just now tuning in, we only keep it real here. We don't shoot shit. We do shoot the shit. We don't shoot BS. We keep it real always, even if it sucks to say it. All right. Honesty is the best policy. You're not going to see me come on here and talk about a bunch of hopium prices and how great the project is. And oh my God, have you seen the devs? And I don't want to hear it, dude. Doesn't matter. Not even one bit. If you haven't learned anything over the past few years, is that all that bullish news doesn't mean anything to the price. The price determines what the news will be. When the price goes up, the news will be wonderful. When the price goes down, you're still going to get wonderful news. And nothing happens. So again, why go with something that doesn't work? Because it makes you feel good? Well, that feminine bullshit doesn't work for me. All right. I don't mind feeling bad if it's the reality of the situation. We don't just come in here and prop ourselves up with hopium. We don't manifest this stuff to happen. There are no women here, folks. Sorry. Manifesting stuff is woman stuff that happens at yoga. And while I don't mind doing some yoga myself because it's good for my back, I'm not manifesting wellness. Okay, it's coming from working out. It's called serotonin. All right, so that's my Bitcoin take. On to the next. Let's jump over to our weekly look at XRP. Here's the weekly chart. I pulled it up first. Hornets win, by the way. What's the final score, dude? I can't even see it. It's such a high score. Hell. It ain't going to show. We beat the hell out of the Bulls. Put it that way. Hornets assaulted the Bulls tonight, and it was a wonderful thing. Been a Hornets fan all my life, folks, in case you didn't know. Nothing wrong with pulling for the Bulls and Michael Jordan because I'm a Tar Heel too. But yeah, I'm a Hornets fan for life. So anyway, XRP still wick chasing like we talked about with Bitcoin, which means price just continues to batter back toward that big red candle that formed, and it threw that wick up. That price action tried to hold, and it just hasn't yet. So now you're wick chasing. You didn't maintain the low. You created a new low, and by creating a new low, you chase the wick down. And I don't want to see that happen, but that looks like what's coming. We're still maintaining over 125. It keeps showing like it wants to go lower, but then keeps catching a little bit of price action up. Problem, you're still stuck under the trend. You're still stuck under the 821 EMA. You're still stuck under everything on the Ichimoku cloud. Lag lines under the candles. It's under the cloud. Your baseline is underneath over the conversion line, needs to be under it. Not great. Red cloud on the end. Nope. No, thank you. And you are clearly under the price. You're clearly under the cloud with the price. Not only that, you haven't broken the trend, which is in between the trend and the clouds. Nice space right there where the same price action right now could happen again. How about the pivot points? You saw them earlier. Pivot points all the way up at 180 plus for XRP. But first, it has to get through resistance, which happens to be at about 150, and it ain't done it yet. It tried the other day. That was a really ugly candle. So if we pull fibs on this little short shot right here, and the XRP people hate when I do this because we don't look at the big picture. Wrong, I do look at the big picture. We have rolled back under the 50 fib and not broken it yet. XRP loves the 786 level, which is down here at about 116 to 121. Don't be surprised if that's where the price goes if we don't break trend. Zooming way out onto the weekly, which is the long time frame. This goes all the way back to 2024 plus, and I can go way back farther than that, all the way in the Wayback Machine. RSI still in the gutter, hasn't gone oversold yet, and it probably will. And your MACD still very heavy down. You have no upward convergence at all. It's all downward convergence. Rocky roads ahead. Pivot point at 236 on the weekly. 156 to 150 is going to be a very contentious point. That's S1 on the pivots on weekly and daily. And monthly won't be any different. So, I mean, as you see, I'd love to say good things. Problem is I can't say anything. It's just stuck. Here's one thing that's potentially promising. Oh, bro, I can hit an alliteration right here. Potentially promising price action. Hey, that's some Jesse Jackson style alliteration. R.I.P. Jesse Jackson. And who else did the alliteration? There's been several people did alliterations. Anyway, Bollinger Bands are starting to pinch in right here, which is a good sign. That usually means we have increased volatility incoming. Now, I'd like it to be over the midline, which is that little blue line you see right there. It ain't done it yet. That also happens to be in line with the 821 EMA. Again, there's roadblocks in the way here. Get over the trend and everything changes. Prove it to me. I haven't seen any proof yet. Got about 100 people watching. That's pretty cool. Nice. I think we hit the high this year is probably like 200. The high last year, I think we hit 1,400 people. And for a small X account, small YouTube account, small Rumble account, it's pretty darn good. In fact, I was a bit shocked that happened. But things have cooled way off, right? And I kind of expected that to happen as well. We're just kind of trickling down the sideways. Is what it is. Ethereum. I would love for it to be different, but I found out something also that apparently they're called view bots. I didn't even know this shit existed, but people are view botting their accounts. And what happens is they run this bot and it makes fake viewers, but the algorithm continues to move the same way. So the more views you get, the higher the algorithm pushes you. The more likes you get, the higher the algorithm pushes you. And these view bots cause that to happen. I think it started on Twitch or Kick. One of those two, I'm not sure. I can't tell you for sure. I know it started on one of those, and I had no idea it existed. Clearly, I don't use it, but apparently it works really, really well. I have no idea how it works. New thing that I learned. Thought that was important for people. So be careful with the view stuff. You know, it's really weird. Ethereum under the 821, just like you saw with the others. She's still stuck. Nothing good quite to report there. Ichimoku Cloud, same thing. You're 4 out of 4 negatory. S2, S1, no thank you, not even close. RSI, my goodness, the worst the RSI has been on Ethereum in a long time. She's still way down, even though it's not oversold anymore. It's still really, really rough. I wish I had some good stuff to say, folks. But there's nothing. Sorry. We have to continue to wait to see a trend break. We haven't seen a trend break. And when I see that, I'm happy to report it. It just hasn't happened yet. That might change everything. But until then, nah. Solana. There we go. Still same issue. You're under the EMA. You haven't broken out. You need to get over the trend. You need to have some volume come in with it, which you've just not had. Your MACD curled up, but that's all. Your RSI is pointing up, but that's all. You still have a ton of resistance. The cloud's still 4 out of 4 no. Like, there's a lot of room for improvement here. Don't get me wrong. but we just haven't seen the volume or the push behind it to really initiate a move here. Sucks is what it is. That being said, let's jump over to the stock market world. Why? Because that matters just as much, if not more, than crypto. All the gains have been over there. Keep up. So I'm going to add in the 50 moving average, the 100 moving average, and the 200 moving average. You'll see it a ton on my channel here. Why? They act as rolling support and resistance. And as you see, the 50 and the 100 moving average are curling up in the same spot right here. Keep your eyes on that. That's about 430 to 440 in the price of Tesla. But it's worth noting that you're still pinned against the trend line right here and pinned against the AEMA. You haven't broken out, just like in crypto, showing some signs, but nothing yet. 200 moving averages down there to catch it. I honestly still think it's likely it hits the 200 at some point. Your MACD is flat as can be, nearly no volume to speak of. And the RSI, also nominal trading, just heart beating to the right. Pivot points, going to be similar. S2, S1, you're still stuck under. I'm actually closed over S2, still stuck under S1. I need a prove it candle. Get through the mud here. Bollinger Bands are starting to tighten in. That's a good sign because you're going to see some volatility. We need that volatility to go north. I do like the weekly candle right here. That's a hammer at the bottom if it can hang on. Still several days worth of trading left, and you are over the weekly pivot. So it could be worse. Good improvement for Tesla over the last couple sessions here, but that's it. Prove it now. Let's keep going. Apple, boy, she failed really aggressively. Now she snapped back really aggressively. Are you going to make it over the trend line? Which we'll highlight in a moment. R2, as you see, it's been a bit of a bulldog, just like R1. Both of those causing some resistance, and you see how well the price action responds to those pivot points. Do you see that? It's really cool. And now, just like that today, same thing. Price ran up, smacked that pivot point, and pushed it back. Okay? Didn't quite have the juice to get over it, but you did have improvement. Rolling back to the weekly, you can kind of see what I'm talking about here. Price is kind of hung up, still there, hasn't really gotten through. If you can get through that, you saw R1 up there at 288. That's the road to $300 for Apple. And I do think it gets there eventually. We're hovering too close to not get up there. I think the market's just looking for its bullcrap catalyst that we don't really need, but everyone loves. Note that we did get back over the cloud yesterday on Apple. Nice. Cloud on the end is green. Nice. Conversion lines over the baseline. Nice. Lag line is over the candles. Nice. Guess what, folks? That's 4 out of 4. That's what you want to see. Shout out Apple for the fight back. I like it. More of it, please. How about something that we haven't looked in a while? Select real estate. Now, this isn't going to be houses, but this is more like groups of houses or a neighborhood or commercial buildings or very expensive homes or industrial buildings or processing plants. Select real estate. Okay. I know it's not what you want to see necessarily, but the more important piece here is it's a real estate marker. What are we seeing? After that big fall off that we had back in 2021, you had a bit of a peak in 2024, and you really, really leveled off pretty difficult right there, the level off that she had. However, she hit a take profit fib right there at the end and has started course back north. Excellent. Love to see it. Let's see her keep going now. If I pull some fibs on this, I grab that top and I can pull down. And that's in the 786, 886 level right there. Let's zoom in on that. Right there she is. That's Sniper's Alley right there. She's hanging out right there in Sniper's Alley. No up, no down. Perfectly snugged in the middle. I think it's probably going to get caught in this for a little bit, but I want you to also note all the weekly moving averages are lined up in ascending order: 8, 21, 50, 100, 200. Right there. It's great support in case it does start to come back down. Select real estate is looking much better. Daily, she's having tits crosses. That's when the moving averages cross each other. Price action did slow down just a little bit. Perfect. And once that 50 cuts through that 200, that's a golden cross, and you may see more up. Vanguard Real Estate is already above. Hey. Now, you may ask yourself why. Well, you can make up your own reason why. But what I'll throw in there, my caveat will be rates are going to come down more. This is the first time that the national interest rate has been under 6% in quite a while. So once they cut rates again at the beginning of summer, they're probably going to cut at least half a point, maybe even a whole point. And when that happens, cheap money is available. Borrowing will happen. Houses will be bought. Are they affordable? Probably not. Not the point. That's what's going to happen. All right. Let's do our last bit right here, which is our check-in on Paramount and Netflix. You may ask yourself, why are we doing this, Keith? Well, let me set it up for you here. Okay. And drop this off. All right. There we go. All right. So Netflix on the right, Paramount on the left. Why do I show you this? Why does this matter? Well, they're in the middle of a highly contested merger with Warner Brothers. Warner Brothers has a better offer on the table from Paramount. Better offer on the table from Netflix. Higher cash, less obligated shares, meaning ownership in their business. And yet the board wants to go with Paramount, which is a little bit fishy, right? It's at the best interest of the beholders of the stock to make the most money you can for those people. Yet the board wants to take a smaller offer from Paramount, who's offering less cash but more preferred shares, right? So they're trying to give you more ownership of the company and less cash. Why do they want to do this? Well, you don't want to lose liquidity. I understand that. And Paramount's stock is down so far that they're short on liquidity and they don't want to give up the cash. They'd like to keep that cash in hand. And they did recently sign with the UFC, and that was a big deal for them. But look what's happened since. It's just been a big bloodbath since October. Same thing for Netflix, though, which is on the right here. Hasn't been much better. Now, the only difference I'll note here is recent price action on the last few days shows Netflix looks a little better the last few days. It is my opinion that we're going to see an increase in price action before the merger happens, because that's what typically happens behind closed doors. Things happen, deals get cut, etc., and it's almost always after hours. I think we will see a move north and get a buy signal from one of these before that happens. Now, this is all after the fact. We'll have to deal with the FTC. They're going to check for monopolization. That's Federal Trade Commission. They're going to make sure nothing was fishy, etc. You have to do the merger, and then after that, get it approved by the regulators. You can't just say it's mine. That's all it is to it, because it's such a big amount of money, such a big deal. They got to make sure you're not monopolizing. So I'm going to continue to keep an eye on this one. I have seen a better increase on the right in Netflix than you have on the left in Paramount. Than you have on Paramount. I'm hoping things change and we get that buy signal. Just keep your eyes on it. Keep them peeled. You can do the same thing as me and follow along. This stuff is not that difficult to learn. I hope you're watching, and I hope you keep your eye on it. That being said, I do this for everybody else, right? I want you guys to learn as much as you can and be as smart with your own money as you possibly can. I talk about this all the time, but put the power of your money in your own hands. Learn to do this. If you don't know how to chart and you're curious to learn how to chart, right there's the link at the bottom, wop.com/team786. Jump over there, ask me all the questions you want. I'll answer literally every single thing I see come in. If I miss it, just ask again, and I'll eventually get to it. I'm not perfect. I do miss stuff sometimes. But the whole point of our show, the whole point of our Discord is to teach, learn, and share. All right? So I appreciate everybody coming and hanging out. Y'all be good. I'll be back Thursday for a normal 10 o'clock show. Thank y'all. Last but not least, sky's the limit. I'm out. Peace.